Going to be the first R-Log game for Sanford this season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, most of his picks have been Yu Zhong, Lapu, Joy, Benedetta. This will be the first R-Log for Sanford this season.
Okay, I like it too. Oh, there's so Apex Predator is still ranked first blood percentage, 68.18%, and that is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Momentum-wise, wanting them to start it off.
Yeah. And for Onyx, they really have to time their abilities well, especially with their dive entries. They're up against an Arlott. They're up against a Fredrin and Franco that can be very punishing if Onyx don't time their entries. They have to layer their abilities well for the dives, because if they don't, if they go one by one, what we call an audition, and they don't time it, Echo will counter punish.
That's one thing that they need to be worried about, because in all sides of Onyx, they have the tools. They have their way of making their team fighting composition work. So all they need is just proper way of balancing it out. A pull from Yao with the Iron Hook.
Well, so that's the thing, right? You're going to look for those hooks if you can early game. If you can't find them, then at least you have good early damage potential, especially with Sanji. But I feel like all of this, if there's no picks being made here, then we're going to have to see how that first turtle objective kind of unfolds, right? Because still, with Onyx Philippines, they've got great setup potential themselves. Not only can they actually set things up, but they can counter-punch really well as well.
Yeah, good evade from the distance of Sensui up against hook of Yaoi. Well, you know how Yaoi lands his hooks onto this rank, one of his comfort picks. But onto the side of the XP, look at this, Ryota and Sanford. There's also a signature pick with the Yu Zhong. Look at that, pressure onto bottom.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be Onyx going to test this. Oh!
All right, they already went in with Wild Charge. They're going to commit to this. Sanford, can he get away? He can't. He falls. First blood, Ryota. The battle for the first turtle still going to ensue. Sensui should be able to grab this. Carl T's going to go in and going to get zoned out quite a bit here, and he grabs it anyway. An Iron Hook comes out. They might get punished here. The flicker comes out. So Echo able to secure the objective, but first blood going over to Onyx Philippines.
Oh man, it's like Carl T's got some second wind there. I mean, with how the Fredrin works, got like a little bit burst of regen that really helped him survive through all of that. And I really thought Echo would give that up, but kudos to them for committing, because Onyx started that out very well with a great pickoff. We have to look at Nets here, by the way. He's not rocking a Purify, so this is going to be Nets wanting to play aggressive and going to be slippery to catch, because he rocked the sprint, actually. So his entries to the Blazing Duets, I think that's what Onyx is really thinking about here, and him being harder to catch, which is interesting, because if you want to be harder to catch, you pick up the Purify, but heck, it could work out for them.
Well, maybe this still Nets. Oh, look at this.
Okay, I thought they were going to be able to commit on that. Great play there from Ryota, though, to avoid that.
Well, Nets onto this Purify. Yeah, so we might see an aggressive Claude and Dexter in terms of getting his first item in. Oh, look, Yaoi be trapped.
Wow. Okay, he's going to get locked down with Bloody Hunt here. Yaoi not going to be able to escape yet. His own barrier. Actually, no, the barrier from Sensui. Able to lock him down in that position.
Yeah, that was a good call by Onyx. They decided to force that issue because now they can get a lot of gold into the gold lane here. Let's see if Onyx can counter punish with this, but look at Nets already maximizing the gold he can get from the energy shielding of the turrets.
Well, Sensui could be in trouble here. He's going to get poked quite a bit. Carl Teezy's still going to go in. Prisma's Wrath does come down. There's the feathered airstrike. Sanji able to grab the kill here. One falling for Onyx.
Still a good counterplay for Echo. It's the pressure up top, right? This could be an unfamiliar. Oh, the hook!
Oh. That is going to be crucial here. Kakadut, though, able to survive despite getting hooked. And you saw the burst damage was there, but it wasn't enough to capitalize.
Once there, that's barely any items on Beniguti. That's a lot already. So Echo here, they might actually be able to get this turtle without a problem, but they're going to contest.
Ryota with the dragon form, going to try to push people off this turtle if he can. Can they commit to it, though? Still trying to zone. Yaoi could be in trouble. Sensui able to secure it. They're in a bad position here. Echo going to lose 2 members. Sanford trying to do his best to fight out to survive. Sanji with the backup there. Another final slash coming out from Super Prince this time. And now they get the Terrify off. Should be able to get another kill. Sanford running with his life. Has the tenacity to survive.
Still working on for Echo, but that one way of having a retribution up against Carl T. Sensui is still on point.
One of the best, again, retribution duelists in MPL Philippines Season 11. Now he goes in with a flicker!
And he's going to get the lockdown here. Nets can't escape that. The damage, like you guys mentioned, already showing the 5.5-minute mark for Benny Cutie.
Yeah, and that's why Onyx put a lot of focus onto that gold lane. They know they want to delay the Leslie for as much as possible. Just a Berserker's Fury on Benny Cutie, and already dealing a truck ton of damage. Onyx, on the other hand, again, we get to see one of the interesting relationships between the Valentina and Arlott. And no, I'm not talking about can steal away the final slash. Means there's so much more Sanji has to watch out for. He's very conservative with the timings of his feathered airstrike during team fights because he's waiting for the dragon to come out. He's looking for Sensui, Kekadut, and Super Prince with the final slash.
But just hearing that Super Prince's ultimate right now that he can do up against Echo could be a total momentum breaker.
Yeah.
You know how Echo can become aggressive if they see a possible way of ganking one? That's how they do it. From what I see here, Onyx is capitalizing on these mistakes that they can do up against Echo.
Not only are they capitalizing, but the fact that Ryota has 3 of these kills on the Lord dances, having that lead gives them that confidence as well.
Yep. Item pickups here. Dominance Ice for Sanford should help with the attack speed that Nets already has. Already built up the Golden Staff for himself, so that's 2 key items for the gold laner of Onyx. Sanford goes in, he gets punished.
Okay, he's going to have to final slash himself. The damage, the follow-up just wasn't there, though. Carl Teasy does get the taunt off. The hook on the minion. So now Sensui going to go in. Carl Teasy able to get the turtle. Thanks for the leash here. He falls, though. So Carl Teasy traded, but he gets the turtle for the team. Now Onyx still looking to punish another iron hook from downtown. Yaoi grabbing the secured kill here for the hands of Sanji.
Classic Franco flicker ult combo. Was that still Echo's win in gaining that objective?
Oh, definitely. They got a kill. They got the turtle. Even though they lost Carl Teasy, that was a W for Echo. Echo now with the rotation bottom side. You have to know that Yaoi also has the anti-Karas, so that's a good amount of physical damage reduction being dished out by the roamer of Echo.
Oh, Ryota.
Oh, look at that.
Nice
Misses.
step.
Benny Cutie just going to push him off further. Off camera kill. Coming out from Sanji again, so even, talking about Ryota having these 3 kills, now Sanji, in the hands of this Farsa pick, going to be even more devastating.
Yep, action-packed game. The key to victory for Echo is to dictate the tempo quick to force reactions from their opponents. But right now, Echo, actually, it's quite even in terms of who's the one setting the tempo. At one point, Echo will set up something, then eventually Onyx will try to set up something. But lately, we've seen Echo be the ones more aggressive and eager to initiate by getting kills. Onyx, most of their plays have been called from around the objectives or just around making sure helping Nets get farm.
Again, we're going back to the keys to victory. Nets or Benny Cutie will determine the advantage of their team fighting capability. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it in action, but Ryota is spotted here.
Yeah, he's going to get spotted. Doesn't have to use
Oh,
the
look at
Dragon
the peel.
Ball, though.
Oh.
But the damage, you can already see it.
Oh,
He's going to cancel it! Not Ryota! Not there!
Oh, just when you thought you were safe. Ryota, no way home. Well, now he's home, but he has to respawn.
But not that way of going back to base. Now Echo sees opportunity here to take down mid. But there's one opportunity here. It's the objective, the first lord of the game. They had a push, they had good clear waves here. Now it's Sensui trying to block off entrance against Echo.
Are they actually going to commit to this? Okay, it's going to reset. They wanted to also put some pressure here. Again, Echo with this lead that they have now. This is going to be tough for Echo or for Onyx to pull off.
Yeah, Onyx needs to take care of their mid lane, although I like their positioning right now on this Lord. Not bad at all. Very competitive in terms of the positioning, where they are in the specific shrubs. Going to be a good check here by Kekadut. You force back Sanji, so now Onyx has the advantage of that little movement. Sanford gets pulled back!
Yeah, he gets pulled back too. So basically both final slashes gone now. Still the Lord dance going to ensue for now.
Yeah.
Sanford quite low, but he's also got the tank emblem. He's got that tenacity to help him out.
Yeah.
Both jungler still squaring up here.
Very good positioning right now by Onyx. They committed that one little play to make sure that they get a bit more advantage. Yaoi, they found out misses the hook.
Nice little sidestep now. Benny Cutie in position where he needs to be.
Super Prince on the death bush.
Got to keep an eye on Super Prince
Super
as well.
Prince.
Going to go in, jumps in, pushing Sanji back. Benny Cutie now looking for an angle on the backside. Lord still being worked on. The flicker comes in. Benny Cutie with a clean kill. Lord secured here as well for Echo. It's all collapsing down as they come in. Sensui with the wild charge, looking for the follow-up. Nets is running for the hills though. Double kill already for Benny Cutie.
What just happened in Onyx? They had a good setup, they had position. But one thing that they haven't seen is how Benny Cutie had angles. Target him right onto the bushes and onto those shortest distance.
Yeah, literally couldn't see Benny Cutie using the ability of a Leslie to be slightly invisible and then go turn it around. That was a good call there by by Echo. Echo were getting beat by Onyx in terms of the position, so Echo very dynamic. They shifted their angle, put a little bit more bodies towards the lower half portion of the map. They put Yaoi there, Benny Cutie in the shrub, and then they pushed forward. What looked like a fantastic positioning from Onyx turned into an Echo sandwich.
Not only that, but you know, you got to respect the fact too, Benny Cutie burned the flicker for an offensive flicker, right? He jumped into the fray basically, and was confident enough in himself and his team to actually survive that whole fight.
I just gotta say, Benny Cutie has a record of doing that, even for a carry or whatever marksman he used. Instead of escaping, I want all in up front.
Living on the edge.
Yeah. And speaking of Benny Cutie, he's on top of the charts, having the player go to ranking 1.
Yeah, Benny Cutie and Nets will determine the advantage of both teams, the key to victory for Echo and Donic. And right now, it's Benny Cutie with the advantage. I like his itemization here, gentlemen. Of course, he started with the Berserker's Fury. He eventually built that into the Endless Battle, so that, of course, that skill activation to increase, to get that even more true damage basic attack enhanced. But then he also decided to build cooldown reduction shoes so that he has more access to his abilities, especially that skill 1. So this is a Leslie with focus onto maximizing skill 1.
Oh, Leslie on a fresh patch. This is one way of getting a fresh catch today if they want to get a win. But now let's turn the discussion around on Onyx Philippines on how they can go up against a possible comeback in entering like ultra late game. It's almost 13 minutes. The only way could be up front is Kekadu being reliant on the ultimate flicker combo.
Yeah. The flicker ultimate, but at the same time, if they really want to be brave about it, just dive Benny Cutie and Sanji. Easier said than done. There is still a high possibility they'll get counter-punished, but if they find Sanji and they find Benny Cutie in an off angle, if they have like at least 3 bodies there and they can dive, they have to commit to that and then either try to go away, or if you have enough information, continue the fight, because at least that's one major source of damage from Echo gone.
If they took note on how Benny Cutie makes an entrance with his aggressive flicker plays, maybe that could be used. Again, it's easier said than done. We're talking about how the possibilities of these heroes can be countered. But right now, it's a major objective up in the table. We have positioning clear for Yaoi onto the bush. Kekadu spots him.
Okay.
But do they know?
Do they know is the question, but the thing is, too, do they commit to this? Little reset's going to happen with Sensui. But still, positioning-wise and everything else, even given the fact that there's a 7K gold lead here for Echo, Onyx can actually still contest this, and that's why they want to plant themselves around here. They just don't want to lose this pressure, especially in the bottom lane. There's going to be a wave pushing in there, and they might have to go take care of that and possibly just defend for this Lord.
Point. That's a good point right there if they want to have a good way of contesting it. But again, Sanford.
Okay. They're going to go in. Sanford already flickering out. So they get that out, but still, look at this. Sanji and Yaoi trying to get in position. Turret just taken down bottom side of Onyx base. So all this for the Lord Dance, and right there, a surprise in the bush. Can they capitalize on the kill? Lord's still going to be worked on. Ryoto with the dragon form goes in. Yaoi has to flicker out, gets stunned, and Nets with the kill. They're going to try to get this, but Benny Cutie doing exactly what he does.
Here we go.
Working on the base. And they forgot that it's Benny Cutie they're playing against as he closes game 1.
Another one! Another one for Benny Cutie. We're talking about backdoor plays, and hell, put that in the